So I just saw a post that President Trump reposted on his social media. It wasn't his original post. He's since then taken the post down, but it was a post that was taken from The Lion King, and it had different animals walking around the safari with the faces of politicians. So you had Adam Schiff as the giraffe, you had Hillary Clinton, I believe she was the warthog, you had President Trump, who was the lion, you had Michelle, who was a gorilla, and Barack, who was an ape. So you have the left, doing what they always do, creating this fake outrage regarding this post because they specifically took Michelle and Barack Obama's post. Didn't really say much about all the other politicians that were labeled as animals, but wanted to make it about them specifically to keep this racial division, this racial rhetoric going on. Now, and if you know anything about Black history, you know that Blacks used to be labeled as apes. I remember hearing something about the NAACP being labeled the N-word, alligators, apes, coons, and possums. At any rate, you guys, what's interesting is that these people can always create this fake outrage when it comes to the most minor things, a depiction of Black Americans, when they themselves have been behind policies that have shown us that how they feel about us, which, and if you look at the policies, they don't really respect us much as human beings. Like the 3-strike rule, where they mass incarcerated specifically African-American men, destroying the Black home with their welfare policies, telling women that they couldn't have a man live in a home with them as long as they were getting money from the government. So you systematically have used policy to destroy the Black family, and you also depict us in movies and music videos as being the most ratchet, the most over-sexualized, the thuggish, the most criminal, and uneducated people. So you don't have no problem with that. It ain't no outrage about all of that, but it's an outrage about a depiction, specifically of Barack and Michelle, didn't include the other people. It's interesting. These same people have allowed the borders to be flooded wide open with these people coming specifically to Black areas, taking over Black communities, opening up businesses on every corner. There's no outrage about that, but there's outrage of depiction. Give me a break. And what's more interesting is that there was a law that African Americans were 5/8 of a human being. Since we're in Black History Month, I thought I'd put that out there for people that didn't know. That was actually a law in this country. African Americans were 5/8 of a human being. And I'm sure that that same party that's creating this fake outrage was behind that law. And so if we were 5/8 of a human being, why are you upset about the depiction of Barack and Michelle being considered 5/8 of a human being? Because remember when they said apes were the closest thing to humans? Yeah, so it's the hypocrisy is off the charts, you guys. These same people celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk, but now want to create this fake outrage about the depiction of Blacks, the first Black president and his or her wife or husband or whatever. Give me a break.